Hello, I'm Alpha66, and it's time to do another prediction. But this one isn't a league table. It's about time it wasn't a league table. It's so difficult. Anyway, today I'm going to take a look at every Premier League club and pick one player that your club's brought in this summer who will flop. The signing that you're going to wish never happened, and the player that you're going to want to flush down the toilet at the end of this season. Right, let's go. Arsenal, Noni Madueke. I've been quite pessimistic about this signing, because I want Ethan Nwaneri to be the understudy to Bukayo Saka, not this muffin from Chelsea. Let's have a look at some of the other players who've swapped blue for red in London over the years. Petr Cech, David Luiz, William Gallas, Willian, Raheem Sterling, Lassana Diarra, etc, etc, etc. Jorginho and Kai Havertz have been the only signings from Chelsea that have actually been half decent for Arsenal. And Madueke, he won't take the place of Bukayo Saka on the right wing. The only place he'll possibly play is on the left wing, starting in front of Martinelli and Trossard. He might do some good things in an Arsenal shirt, but my guess is that he'll score 4 goals in the league all season, maybe grab 8 assists, but yeah, he won't look like anything special. Aston Villa, Marco Bizzo. Marco Bizzo is nearly 35. I know he's a decent player, but if Emi Martinez isn't leaving for Saudi, there's no way he's starting in the league regularly. He will play 2 games this season, when Unai Emery just fancies to change up his goalkeepers. He does it every season. But yeah, anyway, Bizzo just won't play. Bournemouth, no one. Bournemouth's only 2 signings as of now are George Petrovic and Adrian Truffert. Neither of them will flop. Next. Brentford, Romel Donovan. Brentford have done some good business in this transfer window. I mean, compared to his market value, that transfer fee for Caoimhin Kelleher is a bit of a bargain. Michael Kayode looked decent on loan at Brentford, but I would be weary because I've said before, making loan moves permanent is a dangerous move. But instead of Kayode, I've gone for Romel Donovan. Brentford have paid £3 million for the Birmingham winger, and I can see him just being a bench warmer all year. He'll be given a total of what? 58 minutes on the pitch all year and just be stuck very far behind everyone else in the pecking order on the bench before in January getting loaned out to Oxford United. Wasteful. Brighton, Diego Coppola, another one that just won't play. Fabian Hüsler is not going to drop his one club man captain to the bench. Either Boskagli and Dunk or Van Hecker and Dunk is the centre-back partnership at Brighton this season. So Coppola, I don't see him starting a single match all season. When he eventually does get brought off the bench, he'll probably look okay until he gets nutmegged and turned inside out by Cole Palmer and gets laughed at on social media. So yeah, he'll just be on the bench eating cookies all year. Burnley, Marcus Edwards. Burnley are doing well in the transfer market. Yes. Well, they still won't survive. And Marcus Edwards was brought in on loan from Sporting last year and scored 2 goals in 16 games. So how has he got his loan move made permanent? He won't score a single goal all season. Might get 4 assists. But yeah, he's going to go down as a massive failed experiment. Chelsea, Dario Eswogo. Chelsea, because they're Chelsea, have spent every last penny that they have just to get in a bunch of average players. Well, beside Jamie Gittins and João Pedro, who I think will do quite well, but Dario Eswogo, he's just going to be a painfully average player. He's about as thrilling as dry mud, and he won't start over Moises Caicedo. And when he does play, he'll just look like he shouldn't be there. He won't be good enough for Chelsea. This is going to be horrible. Crystal Palace, Walter Benitez. Matt Turner has returned to Nottingham Forest after playing a grand total of 0 minutes in the league for Palace last season. And I think it'll be a similar story for Benitez. Walter Benitez probably thinks that he's going to instantly become Crystal Palace's number 1. No, Dean Henderson is far too good in Palace's goal to be dropped. He's just won Palace the Community Shield. Sorry Walter, but I don't think you're going to play a single Premier League minute all season. He'll just be what Matt Turner was last season. He'll probably play the European games because he has experience in Europe, but nothing in the Premier League. Everton, Adam Asnou. This guy's just another Omar Richards. Anyone remember who he is? Asnou has come from Bayern, and I guarantee you he'll just be on the bench all year. He'll start 3 games maximum all season. Unable to get past Vitaly Mykolenko, hopeless. Fulham, Benjamin Lecomte. Same as Bizzo. Lecomte is Fulham's only signing, but still, he'll flop. This might just be the most pointless signing of the summer. If Fulham wanted a younger goalie to take over from Leno, what were they thinking? Lecomte is older than Leno, and that's 2 goalies that are going to leave on free transfers soon. This is pretty simple. Lecomte will not play a single Premier League minute. Next. Leeds, Lucas Nemeka. Leeds, I think, will be the best of the promoted sides, despite the fact that Daniel Farke has the Premier League strength of an epileptic swan. They've made some decent signings so far. Lucas Nemeka has actually played in the Premier League before, playing 2 games for Man City in the 17-18 season after coming through the youth system. And after cramming in 4 loans away from the Etihad, he joined Wolfsburg in 2021, and he scored 9 goals in the past 3 years. He's a striker, guys. And he's been littered with injuries over the last 2 seasons, to such a point that he he only played 3 games in the 23-24 season. I can see that happening in a Leeds shirt too. Honestly, he's going to miss chunks of the season because he's got organs made of paper, and he'll be an absolute disaster in a Leeds shirt. One of the flops of the season. Liverpool, Freddie Woodman. Do I really need to elaborate? I spoke too soon about Lecomte. If I make a video of most pointless signings of the summer, then Woodman is going to be one of the big contenders for number 1. This Newcastle reject has just spent 3 years at Preston and has never come close to promotion from the Championship. For God's sake, they survived relegation to League One by 1 bastard point last season. So Woodman should consider himself the luckiest man on the planet to get a move to a side coached by Arne Slot. This guy's only going to start the FA Cup and Carabao Cup games and maybe 1 in the Champions League. Just the one where Liverpool are already through and they resort to guys like Amara Nallo and Trainione. But he won't play a single Premier League minute, and when he does play in any competition, he'll do something stupid like play a risky pass and then concede to Scott Twine. And he'll just be the modern day Adam Bogdan. Anyone remember him? Anyone? Funnily enough, they actually have signed a Hungarian goalie in Armin Pejci, and he'll probably have a similar outcome to Woodman, but he's still only 20, so I'll give Pejci time to prove me wrong. But Woodman, yes, he'll flop. Man City, Ryan Aït-Nouri. This time last summer, Man City was spending all of 34 million just by buying Aït-Nouri from Wolves. They've already spent more than they did of the entirety of last summer. And then in comes Bettinelli, Naipan, Shirky, Reinders and Trafford. Bettinelli would be a reasonable prediction, purely because he'll be a carbon copy of Scott Carson. But no, Ryan Aït-Nouri will be worse. I know Aït-Nouri's a good player, but I don't see him playing regularly in Prem. He'll start 10 league games this season, and he'll just get 5 to 10 minute cameos off the bench, and games and other competitions to give Josko Vardio a rest. Nothing special. Man United, Diogo Leon. This guy's going to be horrendous. Diogo Leon is a Paraguayan left back who's come from Paraguayan club Cerro Porteño. And if you thought Patrick Dorgu was bad, this is going to top it, absolutely. He'll be about as useful as Wet Kitchen Roll, and look like he belongs somewhere like Sheffield United. He'll play 6 games this season, and one of them he'll get sent off in. This will be disastrous. Newcastle, Antonito Cordero. Newcastle have had an awful transfer window. Barely any transfer targets have come through the door yet, and to fix their wings they've signed Anthony Elanga, fair enough, but weirdly Antonito Cordero. Cordero has come from Malaga on a free transfer, and I know he's going to be about as useful as a car made of straw. He won't get past Harvey Barnes, Anthony Gordon and Anthony Elanga in the pecking order, and won't even make the bench for most of the games. He'll just be using the gym to keep himself fit for the domestic cup games. Nottingham Forest, Jair Cunha. 2 signings from Botafogo have come to Forest, a team that have just beaten the European champions. And while I think that Igor Jesus won't immediately start, and is merely a thinking ahead signing for when Chris Wood retires or leaves, centre-back Jair Cunha will not start at all. He doesn't get past Murillo or Nikola Milenkovic. He might play a couple games after European nights to give the 2 a rest, but he just won't look like a quality player, and he'll just be what Morato was last season, an impact sub. Sunderland, Chemsdean Talby. Granit Xhaka is playing for Sunderland. This reminds me of when Esteban Cambiasso was playing for Leicester. They might have comfortably won the league if he had stayed for the season that they won it, but Xhaka is not the one that will flop. It will be Chemsdean Talby. This guy is going to be another overhyped mess. The guy will be underwhelming and just about squeak 20 games under his belt this season. He'll play regularly to begin with, but just won't look like anything good, and his place will be taken off him by City reject Patrick Roberts. Tottenham, Kota Takai. Thomas Frank has never won a major trophy and is somehow the Spurs manager. Relegation. Anyway, Takai will just be another Ashley Phillips, a hyped up centre-back who will join Spurs and just be sentenced to the bench and lower league loan spells. The last player that they signed from an Asian club, Yan Min Hyuk, a guy that me, an Arsenal fan, said was the next Heung-min Son. Yeah, in January he was loaned out to the same club as Steve Cook. Good God. Takai will just be what Phillips and Yan Min Hyuk have been. Just nothing special at all. Too much hype for nothing. West Ham, Jean-Claire Todibo. West Ham have fallen for the classic trick of making an underwhelming loan move permanent. Todibo wasn't particularly great for West Ham last season, and West Ham have blown 40 million euros for him to be signed permanently. He'll just do the same as what he did last season. Look average or even worse. Wolves, Fer Lopez. Fer. Oh. Fer. Just kidding, I'll give you a real explanation. He's been compared to Iago Aspas while at Celta Vigo in Spain, but now that he's come to Wolves, I reckon he'll just be poor. Looking like he doesn't belong at Wolves. They might get relegated, and he'll do nothing to help. Anyway, that's the end of the video. What did you think of those predictions? And let me know, who do you think will flop? If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss a thing, and I'll see you in the next video.